Friends, family, welcome. This is Chef D-Night of Date Night Catering with another episode of Funk Up the Flavor. Now, before I get into tonight's episode, I want to let you all know, tomorrow, if you have not done so, go to eventbrite.com and get your ticket for the Black Excellence Culture and Food Festival, or show up there tomorrow at 2 o'clock and pay at the door. So what is the Black Excellence Culture and Food Festival? Well, you got 22 Black-owned food businesses coming together to show our love to the city of Birmingham. So you got everyone that owns restaurants, that are catering services like myself, that own food trucks. We're all coming together to give you guys our heart. So please come out and support us. I mean, you have people out there who grandmama taught them how to cook. You got people out there who have gone to culinary school. You got people out there who have just learned from trial and error. People who have learned from, watching TV, or however they've done it, but they're giving you your heart. So come out, show your support, and let us know how we're doing. Now, so tonight's Funk Up the Flavor episode. So this is coming from a request of a friend of mine, Dante. He actually approached me and said, "Hey man, when you gonna do another episode, man? I want to see something with fish." And I said, "Okay, cool, man. I got you." I said I was actually just thinking about doing something with fish. So tonight I am going to do a crispy red snapper fillet. I'm going to top that with a creole garlic shrimp, and then I'm going to bring that together with a nice hollandaise sauce. So all of that together is going to give you like some really cool Mediterranean flavors, some French flavors, with like a little bit of southern heat. So be right back, and I'm going to show you how to put all this together. And once again, man, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you tomorrow. If I don't see you tomorrow, you can't say it in 10. Alright, so I'll be right back and show you how to funk up this red snapper. Welcome back, family. So I want to show you all of the ingredients that I have to put this dish together like I always do. So what we have here is the red snapper fillet. And I've got my seasoned flour. Now in this flour, there is salt, pepper, granulated garlic, granulated onion, fennel seed, cumin, and some dried basil and some dried thyme. Those are all going to be kind of the Mediterranean flavors right there for you. Now we've got the same thing in here. Salt, pepper, granulated garlic, granulated onion. I also added some paprika, fennel seed, cumin, basil, and also a little dash of thyme as well. All dried herbs and seasonings. Now here is our Creole garlic shrimp. So what I did right here, man, I just grabbed some Creole seasoning. As a matter of fact, it is Tone's Cajun seasoning right here. That's exactly what I put on the dish. I put on the shrimp, and then I just minced up some garlic, let it sit in the fridge for about 45 minutes to an hour. So here we've got 4 egg yolks. This is going to be for my hollandaise sauce. Yes, 2 of them broke. Kind of saddened me that I couldn't get the eggs perfect. But I left them in there like this on purpose to show you guys that, man, it doesn't have to always be perfect. It's just got to be right. Now, this is also going to be for the hollandaise sauce. Quarter teaspoon of salt, quarter teaspoon of pepper. Then we have quarter cup of butter. That's going to be for the hollandaise sauce. And we also have 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Basically 1 fresh squeezed lemon. Now, here's some chopped garlic. And these, my friends, are radish greens. So I'm going to saute the radish greens in a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper. Then I'm going to add the chopped garlic to it as well. Man, listen, I was in Walmart tonight purchasing some food items. And I bumped into Renee, who works in the produce section. And she said, "Have you ever tried sauteed radish greens?" And I said, "No, I haven't." I said, "I'm going to try them tonight." So here I am. We're going to try those tonight. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do is when we come back, I'm going to go ahead and season and flour my red snapper. Now, I'm not going to put it in my oil just yet. I'm actually going to go ahead and do this hollandaise sauce first, and the reason I'm gonna do that sauce first is because it's actually gonna take the longest time to actually come together. So I'm gonna do the hollandaise sauce first, then we're gonna crisp up the fish, and then we'll cook our shrimp, and the last thing we'll do is the sauteed radish greens. So I'll be right back to show you guys how to put all this together. It's gonna be so good too. Okay, family, welcome back. So we've got a saucepan, and I've got it on low simmer. So to this low simmer temperature saucepan, I'm gonna add a quarter cup of butter. Oh, sorry about that. I'm gonna add a quarter cup of butter, or half a stick. Yeah, I love to leave the bloopers in there too, because when you in your kitchen, you know stuff happens. So let's not act like stuff don't happen. All right, so we're gonna cut the heat up on that just a little. Now, you just want this butter to just stay in there and just get all and just melt. It's gonna take a while. So when I come back, the butter is gonna be all the way melted. Do not turn up your heat. We're making a hollandaise sauce. So if your heat gets too high, you are going to scramble your eggs. So do not, and I repeat, do not turn up the heat. You want to keep this on a low simmer, no higher than 2, and let this butter melt all the way down. Now, the best thing to do is to start with room temperature butter. Now, if you don't want to use butter, you can also use ghee, which is clarified butter. Actually, it's going to add just a little bit more nuttiness to the dish. So there you go. All right, so I'll be right back, and once the butter melts. All right, family, so our butter has completely melted, and my heat level has stayed the same. Please, I promise you, if you adjust this heat, you will curdle your eggs when you're making this hollandaise sauce. All right, so we're gonna, now to this hollandaise, to the butter, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Now the lemon juice, make sure that in the butter is incorporated. Now I do want to tell you, if you've never made hollandaise sauce and your eggs do start to curdle, have a couple tablespoons of water on hand, because you can add the water to it and it'll take that curdle or the scramble out of your eggs. So now comes the scary part. We're gonna add the eggs. You should do this one at a time. So that's 1 egg in there. Now that that egg is in there, I'm gonna whisk it in. We're looking good so far, no curdling. All right, let's just add 2 more in there and incorporate these. You can see it's starting to thicken now. We're gonna add the rest of the egg yolk in there. Now at this point, what I'm gonna recommend you do is take this off of the heat. I can almost feel this starting to over thicken, which means it's on the verge of curdling. So I'm gonna take that off the heat. And I'm gonna leave it off the heat. Now to this, I'm gonna add that 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Everything gotta have some flavor. All right, so we're gonna let that sit on no heat. Then when I come back, we're gonna season and flour and fry our chicken. Now, our red snapper. Now, before I do that, I'm gonna turn my oven on. And I'm gonna put my oven on 170 degrees. That's gonna be the holding temperature for my fish. Cause it's gonna get done and then I still gotta cook the shrimp and I still gotta saute the radish greens. Alright, so when I come back, I'm gonna put all this together. Alright, welcome back, family. So what we're about to do now, so I'm about to go ahead and season my red snapper fillet. Now, while I'm seasoning this fillet, I want to let you know, I've got my oil going. So my oil is just a mix of olive oil and ghee. So ghee, like I told you earlier, is clarified butter. So I like the taste of it, and since it's been butter that's been clarified, you can actually use it to fry with. Alright, so look, there we go. Y'all see the seasoning on that, man. This is, hold on. For those that like seasoning, season it up. I don't use a lot of salt, so I'm good with seasoning and flavor. I love it. I think this cumin that I put in there, it's gonna add the touch that people are not expecting. All right, here we go. Now we're gonna flour it up. Now this flouring, man, it's just a dusting, because we just want this to have just enough flour on it so it gets crispy. That's it. And this is how to be done at home. I'm not getting fancy with y'all, man. I just got a plate, put the flour on it. There we go. Now I'm just wiping my hand off on my towel. Then we're gonna lay this fish in here and we're gonna get this bad boy crispy. Then I'm gonna throw it in the oven so it can maintain the temperature. Then I'm gonna come back and cook this shrimp. All right, so here we go. There we go. Gonna let that go for about 3 to 5, and then we're gonna flip it 3 to 5, and then in the oven. So when I come back, it'll be done, and we'll be going in the oven. I just flipped the snapper. Man, this thing is so crispy. Oh my gosh, it is gonna be delicious. All right, so now in my next skillet, one skillet over, I've got some ghee, which is clarified butter. Let me show you, I keep telling y'all ghee, I keep saying it, so let me show you what it is. Right here. You can get this at Walmart. It is ghee, clarified butter. It cooks at a higher temperature, and it actually adds a little bit more nuttiness. This adds a deeper flavor to your dish. Now, it is $8 for this 13-ounce jar, but you can make clarified butter, and it's going to cost you about the same. About $8 to make the clarified butter. So there you go. All right, so we're gonna add the shrimp. Oh, my oven temperature is right. So now we got our garlic, our Creole garlic shrimp. We're gonna let these bad boys cook. Just sit them in there and just let them go. About 3 minutes on one side, then we're gonna flip them 3 on the other side. Now my fish is almost done, so I'm gonna pull it out, throw it in the oven real quick, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna have all this entire dish put together for you. Actually, I'm gonna come back and cook the radish greens, and then we'll have the dish put together for you. All right, so the fish and shrimp we got in the oven, so it is done. All right, so it's just hanging out on 170, staying hot for us. So here I've got my skillet. And I've got about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So to this, I am going to add just a handful of radish greens. Ooh, we got some peas coming. All right, so what happened is I rinsed these off, and so that's just the water that's still hanging on to these bad boys, all right? So I'm gonna drop some of my house seasoning on this, just a few little sprinkles, because I really want to keep the integrity of these radish greens. I really want to taste them. I don't want them to be, you know, clouded with too much flavor. All right, so now we're gonna add some fresh minced garlic to that as well. And then we're going to take our tongs and we're just going to kind of twist them. Not really a flip, but just kind of a twist. They're done. Those are done. Alright, so we're going to pull these off the heat. And then we're going to come back and we're going to put this dish together and I'm going to show you what it tastes like. Welcome back. Taste test time. Taste test time. Hey, and I want to let you know too. I've never made this dish before, so I've never made crispy red snapper with the Cajun garlic shrimp and a hollandaise sauce served with sauteed radish greens. I've never made that, all right? So if I've never made it, you can make it. All right, so here we go. Let me show you what we got on the plate. Now, if you want to make this like legit keto too, you can leave the flour off and just pan sear your red snapper. You're still gonna need a nice little high heat to get the crispiness on that. So we're about to dive in. Oh my gosh. Ooh, I'm getting excited here, man. All right, and this is a big bite too. It's perfect. It's perfect. The fish is so well seasoned. It's crispy. And then you get like the heat from the shrimp. And then you get another seafood flavor from the shrimp. And then you get like this lemon buttery taste from the hollandaise sauce that just kind of puts it all together. Wow. That deserves a drink of wine. Delicious. All right, let's taste these radish greens. I've never made these, never had these. Well, I ate it raw before I cooked it, so, and it tasted pretty good. So let's see what we got. Really good. Really good. Got like this spinach texture with like a turnip taste. And then you kind of get like this like acidity at the end. So really, really good. So friends and family, that's it. That was the crispy red snapper topped with the Cajun garlic shrimp and hollandaise sauce. All right, so served with the also served with the sauteed radish greens. And the radish greens, you can just go buy the fresh radishes and cut the greens off, rinse them, and saute them. All right, so family, before I go, I always try to leave you guys with something positive. And so the positive that I have for you today is, you know, mostly what I've always said, man. Just believe in yourself. Just take an opportunity to put yourself before you put anybody else. You know, put the Most High first, well, God first, and then put yourself in right after that. Take care of yourself. You're just that valuable. You should be no more. You should be the most valuable person that you know. Period. Period. And if you're not, you need to look in the mirror and tell yourself how much you really matter to yourself. So the last thing I want to leave you with too is tomorrow is going down, Club M. So you can go online, search Black Excellence, and get your tickets for the first annual Black Excellence Food and Culture Festival. 22 Black-owned food establishments coming together under one roof. For $25, you get to sample all of our food. Everything from the way grandmama used to cook, the way Aunt Auntie cooked, to culinary school, to trial and error, to just everyone is coming together to give Birmingham our hearts. So I hope to see you there tomorrow. And if you watch this video and you show up there tomorrow, let me know, man. We can get pictures together and everything. I'm gonna flood the world with your photos. So thank you so much for tuning in. Chef D Night of Date Night Catering with another episode of Funk Up the Flavor.